Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Bath Football Review. My name's Jake. I'm joined by Cameron and Lewis, and today we're going to be talking about the FA Cup games this weekend, as well as the couple Premier League games that are on as well. I think there's only really one place to start, and that was Man United versus Liverpool.
Yeah, which was, a fantastic game. Really, really fantastic. For once, we actually played pretty well. Some shaky moments, but I've got the stats here. We finally outshot a team.
And it was Liverpool of all teams as well.
Liverpool, yeah. 28 shots in total, 11 on target, which is a massive change. But seven goals in total.
Good game.
Last minute winner. Cracking
It was
game.
a strange game because you started well.
We started well. Obviously got the early goal with McTominay, and then when we kind of fell apart when Liverpool got that equaliser.
Yeah, it was just before half time, wasn't it?
Yeah, just for half time, and then Salah made it 2-1.
And then Liverpool were pretty much dominant then until for the rest of the game. I'd say.
Really. And then unlikely hero Anthony comes on.
Yeah, that was the last person I thought would come on and get when he was warming up, you were bringing on him and Maguire. I was like, this just sums up Man United. They need a goal and they're bringing on Anthony and Maguire.
It felt like we were about to lose at that point.
Yeah.
And then, out of nowhere, equaliser came. Took it to extra time. Rashford had a chance to win it right at the end of the game.
He did, yeah. He finessed it wide, and he tried to go for the Henry finesse, and he just went a bit wide. Yeah,
pretty bad miss. Got his goal in the end.
I thought he was quiet, Rashford. Obviously, he scored, but apart from that, he was quiet.
He had a couple chances in extra time as well, but certainly for the first night,
he kept going, though, didn't he? To his credit, he kept like that miss. He could easily have kind of started sulking and gone missing, but he didn't.
Yeah.
I think he went up front, didn't he?
Maguire was up front as well at one point.
And then didn't you have Bruno at centre back at one
centre-back.
point? Oh my God.
Wan-Bissaka came off and Ante went to left back. It was wild at one point, and then the Ahmed goal at the end to win it.
Subs on, scores the winner, gets sent off.
I want to talk about that. He got a second yellow, didn't he?
Yeah.
That is so stupid. He scored the winning goal in an FA Cup quarter-final against Liverpool.
Let him have a bit
and he gets
emotion.
But that's so silly.
The rules, though.
Come on.
I think he forgot that he was on a yellow anyway.
So silly. He scored the winner against Liverpool in a FA Cup quarter-final. He's going to celebrate it.
But if you take your shirt off, you get a yellow card. Like
why is that a rule? He had like a vest underneath. I don't know.
I don't actually know. I've heard that it's like
if you take it off and throw it in the crowd
for sponsorships and stuff because of the sponsors on the front of the shirt. But I don't think that's true.
So you can't have it off for like 30 seconds because they're not getting their money's worth for the sponsorship.
There's like three different. I don't know the real reason, but the three reasons I've heard. One was sponsorships. I don't think that's true. Two was because the ref could struggle to identify you if you take your shirt off. Again, I don't know about that. And the other one is just like disrespect.
And the fourth one's hygiene.
Disrespect how?
I don't know.
Respectful, because you're like I don't know. He was when he took it off. He was holding his name up. He was
But I meant disrespect to the opposition. But
I just thought it was silly, given the occasion, given that it's the rules,
a
winning goal in stoppage time in extra time. I suppose the rules maybe the rules need to change. But no, I think well done Liverpool. I thought they were pretty poor actually. I thought it might be just one game too many for them.
I don't think they were poor. I think
they were wasteful, weren't they?
It's the same story as last week though. Against City, they were wasteful in that game as well.
Yeah, when you score 3 goals and you don't win the game, you kind of got to think to yourself, maybe probably should have defended better.
Yeah, they had a few opportunities in the second half to really put the game away, and they didn't.
They did. Yeah,
I think that's where their issue was.
And a few kind of silly mistakes. I think Núñez gave the ball away for Rashford's goal to make it 3-3, and then obviously Elliott got caught in the middle of the park. And I don't know why everyone was in the box for their corner at 3-3 in the I'm just like pay for penalties, like. And
I guess the only thing you could say is for penalties they had a lot less experience on the pitch. And so that could play.
They still had Núñez, didn't they?
Yeah.
What else did they have? Was Diaz still on the pitch?
I don't know.
I'm not sure.
I think he might be subbed off.
Back D has to score a penalty anyway, but
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I know what you mean, but still, you can't. They literally.
But United had Harry Maguire on the pitch. He's gonna score his penalty.
Was it Elliot? And that was it, back, like on the edge of the box. And
I think that
everyone had gone up.
Yeah.
They had one. I think they had one other player.
Was it one other player? Yeah.
Well,
To be fair, I thought you'd. I thought the chance had gone because I thought was it Rashford who ran through, played it to, or was it Garnacho?
It was Garnacho.
Yeah, I was thinking when Garnacho passed the ball, it was a bit behind Diallo, and I thought, oh, the chance has gone there. But then he just kind of hit it with his left foot, and I was just like, madness.
Yeah.
You got because I mean, you know, that's kind of saved Ten Hag's season. I would have thought because you're still in the shout of the cup. Obviously, favourable draw as well.
Yeah.
In the next round, so you'd fancy.
Does mean you'll probably be playing
to a final.
City in the final again.
Yeah, which
which you'll probably get taught a lesson for 90 minutes in the final. Like last season, but.
So yeah, I don't think you can really say it's saved Ten Hag's season because.
Well, it has. Because if they went out, they'd be
more leeway, I think.
But I mean, they got to the final last season.
Yeah,
and they won.
Everyone said he had a good season.
And they won the cap. Did he?
Yeah, didn't he finish third last season?
Yeah, he did, but
third in the trophy and an FA Cup final. That's a good season.
Let's be honest, like most teams weren't performing well.
I'm just saying it gives them something to play for, doesn't it? If they'd gone out,
I suppose, yeah,
their season would have been done because they're playing for fifth basically. At least now they've got a semi-final to look forward to at Wembley. Favourable draw, so you'd fancy them to get to the FA Cup final. And on the day in a final, anything can happen. So obviously, City will be favourites, but they've got to beat Chelsea first.
True. Should we talk about Chelsea then?
We could talk about Chelsea.
Yeah, well, there's a lot to talk about with Chelsea.
I mean, yeah, where do you start?
I think the main one for me was Raheem Sterling's performance. I mean, he got booed by. Did you see his free kick?
Yeah.
Did you see his penalty?
I think he went to do like a knuckleball. Yeah, his penalty was bad, but the free kick was. Did you see the free kick? I don't know what he was trying to do with it. It was like playing rugby, and he was like doing a try or something. It was unreal. But I don't know. I feel a bit sorry for him because after the free kick, he got booed by the fans, and then when he was substituted, there was like a mixture of like booing, like sarcastic applause. Like he's not having a good time at the moment, Sterling.
Did get an assist though.
Yeah, he did get an assist.
Pretty good assist
for Palmer.
well.
Yeah. So, but
you could tell Palmer was a bit annoyed at him though when he scored because he wanted the penalty, didn't he? Let's be honest.
Yeah, I mean, what do you think's happened to Sterling? Like, is it just bad form?
He's a form player.
So it feels like he's been in bad form for a while now.
It does. To be fair, I mean, I can't really remember the last time he was.
He's not really had like a prolonged period at Chelsea where he's reached the heights that he had at Liverpool and City. I feel like he's had that odd good game here or there, but he's never had like a run of 10 games where you feel like he's playing the best that he can. Because what is he? He's like 20, late 20s now.
28.
Yeah,
like this should be his like peak performance as a professional, but it's far from it at the moment, isn't it?
But I guess you could say that about a lot of players at Chelsea.
Yeah,
they should be playing better than
most of them aren't in their peak years, though.
Yeah, I know, but
that's why it looks worse for Sterling because of how experienced he is.
I mean, he's probably
side,
the most experienced player in that team.
Thiago Silva.
Yeah, when he plays, yeah, of course. But other than Thiago Silva, he's the most experienced player, and he's not performing. But anyway, you see the Diassi own goal as well. that was one of the best own goals I've seen. Yeah,
I don't know what he was thinking.
Well, I think what happened was because like the Leicester player did well because he pressured him while he was playing it back. I don't know if you saw, he put his arm kind of shoulder to shoulder, and it just put him off balance. So when he went to pass it, it just kind of looped, and the keeper was obviously quite far off his line.
Yeah,
but yeah, that was quite a comical. But apparently, he got quite toxic in the stands at 2-2.
Doesn't surprise me.
No, and then obviously, because they only won the game in stoppage time with 2 brilliant goals.
I mean, the thing is, you got to look at Leicester as Leicester are a Premier League side, really, aren't they?
Yeah, I was going to say, it kind of they impressed, I think, most people, and I think they'll definitely be in the Premier League next season. And they should have enough to stay up.
Leeds are now top of the Championship, but
they are.
Leicester have a game in hand.
Because aren't Ipswich? Is it in Ipswich there as well? There's kind of, isn't it? Leeds, Leicester, Ipswich.
Yeah.
They're all on like 81, 82 points.
Yeah.
So it's not decided yet who's automatic, which is...
I think Leicester had a 10-point lead at one point.
They did, yeah. They've let that slide.
Yeah. They have got a game in hand, so I think that'll probably just return top.
Yeah.
I think the game in hand is actually against Southampton, so maybe not.
isn't that big a game.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's kind of a dress rehearsal for Leicester really for next season.
Yeah, pretty much.
Do
you see Mavadidi's goal?
I did.
That's a good goal. Yeah.
Yeah. Was that the fourth one where he bent it into the? Was that the third one?
It was the fourth, I think.
Was it the fourth?
I think it was the fourth.
Yeah.
Both late goals were really good. But I think, everyone expected Chelsea to go through. But
yeah.
They had a bit of a scare. But I think, do you see that bizarre rant Pochettino was like kind of holding up the matchday programme, talking about his squad's not that big because half their names on there are like youth players. It was a bizarre...
What do you mean his squad's not that big?
Well, yeah, he was trying to justify... I think a journalist asked him something about, how does he cope with such a big squad? Or because, obviously, on the back of programs, like they list the squads.
Yeah.
And the Chelsea squad was probably a good 8 players longer than the Leicester squad. But, yeah, he went on some bizarre rant about how most of the names, like, towards the end are, like, youth players. So that's not really his squad. It was a bizarre... But I think he's feeling the pressure, isn't he?
Yeah.
Which...
Yeah, for sure.
You can't blame him. The fans don't really like him.
He's got to a semi-final, though,
the players
hasn't
aren't
he?
playing for him. Yeah, but who have they played? Have they played anyone decent in the run-up?
Don't know. Don't think so, not really.
So, I mean, you'd expect them to lose to City, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Obviously, they went through, breezed through against Newcastle.
2 deflected goals from Bernardo Silva.
They just turned up and won the
goals.
game. They were, but they dominated the game.
Yeah, Newcastle
had
did
something like 75% possession at half-time or something like that. It was... Yeah. Newcastle again, flattering to deceive.
Like 1 shot on target, like 2 overall. So it's just not a great performance from them.
I mean, with Newcastle, is it the injuries? I mean, I've got a list here of absentees. Absentees, that's the one. Trippier, Joelinton, Pope, Wilson. Obviously, Tonali's been suspended.
Yeah.
I mean, that is... Trippier's their starting right back. Joelinton starts for them in midfield. Pope's their starting goalkeeper. Wilson arguably starts for them as well. Well, not over Isaac, but he definitely contributes.
Yeah.
And obviously Tonali's a big summer signing from AC Milan. That is a lot of injuries, but is that wholly the reason?
Can you put it just down? I mean, we've seen teams this season have a lot of injuries and perform, well. Like, so to just do nothing, like, I don't think you can really put it all down to injury.
I mean, I watched Shearer post match, and he kind of said that he blamed the injuries and kind of said Eddie Howe's got a lot of credit in the bank for last season. So to him, that credit will give him next season. But if it doesn't go well next season,
I
think that'll be it. So he's got to have a big summer, I think. Get a few players out, get a few players in.
Don't think they can have a big summer though with FFP.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? Haven't they got to sell? They might have to sell one of their star players. Might have to sell Isaac or Guimaraes.
Yeah, I think
to then fund. But it just seems a bit counterintuitive to sell one of your best players to bring in. But I don't know. Like, could they not kind of find funds from elsewhere, from players they don't want or don't? I know they're not going to get as much.
Yeah, they're not going to get But who are they going to sell? Jacob Murphy. How much is he going to get?
I have no idea. 5 million.
Yeah, exactly.
If you're lucky. But no,
I just think yes, he has credit in the bank. I mean, last season was a big overperformance from them, and yes, I said that other teams like Liverpool, they were underperforming.
Mm-hmm.
But still, I think it's because they didn't have Tonali, they didn't have Gordon for half of it.
Mm.
It was a considerably worse team, and they managed to get top 4. So I think he's done a great job there.
Yeah, it's a bit of an outlier, wasn't it? He's kind of he's suffering from his own success last season, isn't he?
Yeah.
If they'd have finished 6th or 7th last season, it wouldn't look as bad as it does.
Yeah,
but because they were 4th, the drop off is because they overachieved last season, didn't they? No one expected them to finish in the top 4.
Yeah, and compared to last season, they're underachieving now. But if there's no comparison, if you don't compare it from last season, I don't think they're really underperforming that much. I think.
Well, they're like mid-table, aren't they? Slap bang mid-table.
Yeah, I think just Aston Villa and West Ham are overperforming this season.
Yeah, and obviously we've been improved this season as well.
Yeah, and that's why it looks so bad for Newcastle.
Yeah, because you've had Spurs have improved, Villa have improved,
Wolves have improved. West Ham have improved.
Yeah, I guess so. Maybe it was their success was obviously they played well, but it was also because other teams weren't quite up to par.
Yeah,
but yeah. So City are through, obviously. And I saw a stat which I thought was staggering. They're the first side in history to reach 6 successive FA Cup semi-finals.
Wow.
And they've reached 6 in 7 semi-finals under Pep. So it's almost like every season it's like, yeah, we'll get to the semi-final of the FA Cup. Of course we will. And then it's just two games and we win
Who have they actually played this year?
What, in the FA Cup?
Yeah.
No one decent, but you never do in the FA Cup until the sort of quarter semi-finals, do they? Do you?
Yeah, I suppose.
And Pep fielded I feel
like this season they played more difficult. Or was that than the
Who's gone out?
Carabao
Did they play
Cup?
Arsenal? They didn't play Arsenal, did they?
No, Liverpool played Arsenal.
Liverpool played Arsenal. They didn't play us. Or did they play us?
Yeah, they did.
Oh, it was us. Yeah, well.
Yeah, so they've. I was gonna say they've had a more. They usually
They've
have
had a
really.
cruise
Usually they have a really
an
easy
easy
run, but
run.
this year I feel like it's been a bit more difficult for them.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, but Pep fielded a strong side. You could see his intent. Like he wants to win every competition he's in. Because they're still on for a treble, aren't they? Back-to-back trebles. I mean, if they did that,
Yeah.
would cement them in. I really hope they don't do it, but
I really hope they don't.
I don't think they'll win the Champions League. I think Real Madrid will beat them.
You don't?
No.
Yeah, I do. I think Real Madrid are going to win that game.
Over 2 legs.
Yeah.
It's going to be a good game, isn't it?
Yeah. One more FA Cup game to talk about. Coventry versus Wolves.
Yeah.
Good game.
Very good game. I think Wolves were lucky to be in the position they were, really, after that red card. Well, it should have been a red card. Did you? I don't know if you guys saw.
I didn't see it. No, was this VAR check?
Well, it was, so I think it was Nelson Semedo comes in right for a challenge on O'Hara, I think it was, for Cov. Like very high challenge. Like his foot was on his face pretty much. O'Hara comes out of it with a cut on his nose. Not even a free kick given. Nothing. VAR checks it. Nothing. And I mean, it should have been a red. Like you can't go in that high and not get a red.
If you're cutting somebody on the face,
like, he didn't even touch the ball. He straight into his head. And like a minute after that was when Wolves equalised, and then a little bit later they got the second goal. So I think they were lucky to be in that position. Coventry pulled off 2. I think it was like the last one was like the 100th minute. They got
it was a player called Ellis, wasn't it?
Ellis
Sims. He's on a good run of form, isn't he?
Yeah. It was 95th and then 90.
Yeah, and then I think Haji
100th,
White in the 100th minute for the winner.
Yeah.
I was surprised. I thought Wolves would win that game. I thought they'd kind of be really up for that to get into
they
had a favourable draw, obviously, to get to a semi. I thought they'd be well up for that. But
it's a Gary O'Neill special though to lose it in the last minute, isn't it? I remember us against Arsenal last season.
But you were rejoicing when you saw that scoreline.
I just like an underdog story, So I was happy that a Championship team managed to get into the semi-finals.
Yeah.
No, but it's great for Coventry. So they got Man United in the semis at Wembley.
You never know. You never know with United. It could.
No, I wouldn't take it for
some
granted. But you'd think.
You would expect United to win that, but
I'll be supporting Coventry the whole way.
Coventry did play very well against Wolves, though. Like they were definitely the better side for.
Were they in the Championship?
They're like.
I think they're like
11th
close.
Or something.
I think they're close to playoffs, aren't they?
But they're not in the playoffs.
They're around like 8th, somewhere in that kind of region.
Okay. So they're not even one of the best teams in the Championship.
No.
Well, the Championship's like a crazy league. So
yeah, it's a great league.
Yeah.
So obviously, we've got our semi-final draws.
Yeah.
United, Coventry, and City, Chelsea.
It's gonna be a City United final.
City United final, yeah. Isn't that for second year in a row? Isn't it? That'll be
yeah.
And didn't go well last time, so hopefully.
No. I remember watching that game. It was like men against boys, wasn't it?
Gundogan scoring like the inside 20
seconds.
2-0,
wasn't it?
20 seconds.
I'm sure it was like he definitely they scored after
they scored
a
quick,
minute,
yeah,
or less than a minute. So
Something
it was ridiculous.
Yeah. But United didn't even lay a glove on
Yeah, I mean,
seeing that game.
Coventry at 8th, by the way.
They're 8th.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember that goal went in, and then for the rest of the game, it was just.
Yeah, it was almost like you
like
just kind of
trying.
you just kind of thought, yeah, we're not winning this game.
Yeah,
just trying to keep it, to 1.
I mean, so you'd hope there'd be a bit more up for it with it being, the only trophy we could win this season.
Yeah, I mean, if you could beat Liverpool, then you can beat City. I mean,
and if it is a City United final, and City have already won the league, then I will be supporting United. I just don't like United that much, so I don't know.
Supporting United as a Bournemouth fan, blasphemy.
Well, do I want City to win another treble? No.
Why not?
Because it's boring, isn't it?
Yeah.
If they just win everything every year, it's like, well, what's the point? I mean, I don't want them to win the league.
Well, we've established Liverpool winning the league, but.
Well, I don't know.
Well, to be fair, I don't know. It's wide
open.
open.
Who do you want to win the league?
3 teams could win it.
Because you probably don't want any of the 3 teams who are up there
I don't
now.
really want any of them to win. Out of the 3, I'd probably take Arsenal most.
Yeah.
I mean,
What about you?
Yeah.
You'd say Liverpool, right?
Liverpool, yeah.
Yeah, I'd probably say Arsenal.
Yeah.
Well,
I can't have Arsenal winning the league. They won't shut up about it, will they?
I mean, you didn't shut up about finishing above them like once.
I didn't. No, I got used to finishing above Arsenal. That wasn't really a thing. We did it for I think it was 6 years in a row. We finished above Arsenal. It's not an achievement to finish above a team, is it? It's not an achievement to finish above your rivals. It's not what you should measure. I remember Pochettino got asked about it once, and he was like, "I don't care. Like, it's not an achievement. Well, it's an achievement, but it's not something to brag about, is it? Especially when Arsenal was as poor as they were. Yeah, of course we were going to finish above them. They were awful. But anyway,
should we talk about
on that note?
Should we talk about Tottenham then?
Oh, do we have to?
I mean, kind of do. We don't have much else to talk about. Bournemouth didn't play, so we have to talk about.
Well, I think firstly I want to give credit to Fulham because they were very good.
Yeah.
They've got a few players in their team who I think big clubs should be looking at. Robinson at left back.
Yeah, I think everyone's looking at him. I think he's going to go to Liverpool.
You think? Yeah, I could see that. He's top quality. I mean, the cross he put in, I think it was it the second? I think it was his first goal for Muniz, who got another brace.
The touch and the finish for his first goal was really good.
Yeah, so Robinson impressed me. Like Kulusevski didn't get a kick, and that's what I've said about Kulusevski. If he comes up against a decent left back who's quick, then there's no point going down the right because you're not going to get in it. He's just going to want to take the ball, stop, cut in, look for a pass. He couldn't take him on the whole game. He got no joy. So I was impressed with Robinson. Obviously, Muniz again with another brace. He looks a player.
Yeah, and I'm glad he's doing well because that means teams will look at him instead of Solanke.
Yeah, and I think Paulinho as well.
Yeah, I mean,
obviously he was linked with Bayern, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And it fell through. But I'd be very surprised if that doesn't happen, or if another team comes in for him in the summer.
Yeah, should we talk about Spurs though? Spursy performance.
Yeah, it's typical Spurs, isn't it? You beat Villa 4-0 1 week and then you lose to worrying, to be honest. Maddison and Son very quiet. Son didn't really get much service. I don't know how much blame you can put at his feet, but
he had that one chance. Can't remember when in the game it was. It was first half, I think, that he just put wide.
Yeah.
Oh no, he put over. He blazed it over.
Yeah. But for me, the big worry for me is Basuma, because it's been quite a while now where he's putting in bad performances after bad performance. And obviously he came from, I think that's this thing with Brighton where if you buy their players, they just fall off a cliff. I don't know what it is about, but I think clubs should stay well clear of buying Brighton players in the future, because
they only seem to do well at Brighton, don't they?
Yeah, they seem to do well in the Brighton bubble, and then as soon as they come out of that, they just, because we have not.
It's a big fish in a small pond kind of thing, isn't it?
Yeah, maybe they look better than they are at Brighton, and then when you put them in a better team.
I mean, people were talking about Ferguson going for like 100 mil in like last summer.
Not even.
He's not done it. He's not done.
He's not done
last
anything this
few
season,
months, has he? He had a good kind of 5-6 games or something, and then.
Yeah.
But no, I'm worried about Bissouma. I think he needs to shape up, or we need to look at getting rid. To be honest, because it's been too long now where he's just a passenger. I mean, for one of their, I don't know if you saw, for one of their goals, the gap in the centre of the park was just. I mean, the Fulham player had about 10 metres either way.
Yeah.
Of space. That can't happen.
And then Lukic's goal. When it came off his thigh.
Oh yeah, and they had a goal disallowed as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, just
could have been more.
Worrying. Reality check.
Werner miss near the end.
Well, yeah, that's nothing to be. And obviously our goal scoring record was broken as well.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
30 something games.
So now the team with the longest goal scoring streak in the Premier League is Luton.
Yeah.
I think it's 14 games or
so
something.
That came to an end. But yeah, I mean, I hope it's just a bad day at the office. But we've had a few of them games this season. Obviously, Brighton.
Yeah.
Away. We were 4-0 down. Obviously, we kind of got 2 back this game. We didn't even score. So, yeah, worrying. And, you know, obviously with Villa drawing as well, it's like no one wants a Champions League spot. No one's. We're like, yeah, you take it. No, we don't want it. No, you have it. It's like...
What's going to happen is we're just going to end up having 5 Champions League spots and it doesn't really matter what happens.
No, but I was impressed with Fulham.
Both good results for United, though.
Fulham are one of them teams, I feel like, where if you're not at it, Fulham have got the players to punish you. Yeah.
Fulham at home.
A couple of weeks ago against United, right?
Fulham at home, if you're not on it,
Fulham at home
dangerous.
is like they're like Barcelona, right? Prime Barcelona. Fulham away, they're just like I don't know, Derby County. Like it's like I don't know how. I think I had a look, and I think their home form is like away form is like they're like 17th in the league or something for that, or 18th in the league for away form. They are pretty bad.
If you look at their strongest front four now, they've got Muniz up front, they got Iwobi, Willian and Pereira. I mean, that's not a bad front four.
Yeah. And to have Harry Wilson on the bench as well.
Harry's on the bench. You've got Paulinho in midfield. You've got Robertson at left back. Leno in goal, who's played...
Bassi at centre-back.
Yeah, I mean, they've got a decent team. I mean, a few additions in the summer. I think Silva was asked about Europe because they could possibly qualify. And he kind of was a bit coy on that. But
I'm sorry, but... You laughed at Bournemouth having the possibility to qualify for...
Yeah, but Fulham are above you.
Yeah, 3 points above us and we have a game in hand.
Is it only 3 points?
And we have a game in hand. So basically, like...
but if I had to put my money on who's finishing higher, I'm going Fulham.
Oh, yeah, definitely. But, like, they have as much chance of getting Europe as we do.
Yeah, so not a good day for Tottenham. But... You know, it's just what you come to expect. This is what happens.
As a Tottenham fan,
this is what happens. You beat a top team 1 week, and then you lose to a mid-table team the next week.
Sounds like being a Bournemouth fan, to be honest.
Yeah,
you beat Man United 3-0, but you know, just draw against Sheffield United, who are bottom of the league.
I mean, you don't.
It was us to throw that in, Danny.
Every week I have to mention it.
Oh, he's Gary O'Neill again.
Well, I didn't say anything about Gary O'Neill.
What did you say?
Beating United 3-0.
Beating United 3-0. I have to mention it every week.
Sneaks that in somehow.
Until we beat you again when we're at home, I have to mention the 3-0.
You don't know when the next win's coming, do you? It's United, so you got to make the most of it.
It was literally coming next time we play them.
You reckon?
Yeah.
It's a bold statement. We'll.
I don't think Cameron would disagree. Clip
that. It'll be at home, won't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but your recent home form is not exactly.
We won against Luton. What do you mean?
I know, but you were 3-0 down. But
that's true. We'll just be 3-0 down against United and still win.
I mean, what did you guys make of it? I mean, did you watch it? Did you watch the highlights?
Yeah, I watched the highlights and they were all Fulham.
You just put it down as a Spursy performance.
Yeah, but also credit to Fulham as well. I mean,
Fulham were good.
Really good.
Yeah, Fulham were very good. I was surprised how good Fulham were.
Yeah,
that's what I mean. If you're just slightly off it against Fulham away, you're in trouble.
Yeah,
because. Like I said, Robinson.
Have you played Fulham away?
Top quality
this season.
I think we have. I can't remember.
Was it a draw? I think it was a draw.
I want to say it was a draw.
1-1, 2-1,
something like that. Because when we lost, it was at home.
Yeah.
I think it was a draw.
Yeah, there was a major meltdown.
We've all had bad performances against Fulham away.
Yeah, there was a major meltdown on Twitter of Spurs fans. major kind of few. This player's not like Kulu's not good enough, and Basuma. I agree on Basuma. I think he needs to shape up. Or I'd give him next season, and then if he's still not up to it, we need to. Because I thought we were getting like a Dembele replacement when Basuma came in. He's strong, can beat a man, press resistant.
Would you give him next season though?
Yeah, I would.
If he doesn't perform well next season, and he hasn't performed that well this season, surely his value is just going to go so much for surely you should cash in now.
Yeah, but his stock's low now. No one's going to pay much for him now.
But then if he has a bad season next season, then you'll want to sell him.
Well, yeah, you'd have to cash out.
His stock will be even lower. But then if he has a good season next season, then you'll want to keep him.
Well, how much do you think we'd get for him now? 30 million? We'll probably get back what we paid for him. About 35 million maybe? 35, 40?
Yeah, I think, I mean, if I was Spurs,
if we could replace him, like I'd take Paulinho from Fulham for one.
He ain't going to Spurs.
But if we could replace him, but it's just the thing with Spurs is our transfer policy is not good. We buy kind of 10 million players from Ligue 1 and hope that they can become superstars.
Or loan.
We don't buy the finished
article. Or
article.
loan ex-Premier League flops.
Although saying that, our recent transfer, the last few windows have been good.
Yeah, I mean, you got Maddison, you got Van der Ven.
Yeah, the last one was good. But obviously, I just hope that that's the
Richarlison
trajectory we go towards.
He's come good.
Yeah, he found his form. Yeah, that was a couple of years ago now, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, 2 summers ago.
But no, there's still some gaps in the squad, and I think it might be a good thing because it might kind of wake up not only Ange but the board as well to think we're a long way off.
Yeah,
where we want to be. But we've got Luton next, so hopefully we can bounce back, get 3 points on the board. But it's just the wait now, isn't it? Because
are you away at Luton?
No, it's at home.
Okay. Should we talk about Luton then?
Yeah.
1-1 against Nottingham Forest. Big game at the bottom.
Yeah, it wasn't a great game, to be honest. Forest had the better of it.
Yeah.
From the highlights that I saw. Quite wasteful. They should have won, really.
Yeah.
And I feel like that equalised from Luton puts Forest in trouble. Because
yeah,
they would have been 6 points clear of them if they won that game.
Luton needed something from that game, and they managed to get the draw. Although, really, if you look at it though, if Luton can't beat Forest at home, where are the results going to come from?
Yeah, I mean it's true. But Forest are a better side than Luton, though, aren't they? If you look at them player for player,
yeah,
they're a much better team.
But it's a bit like Chelsea, but on a smaller scale. They're just like they're not a team.
Yeah, they're a team of individuals, aren't they?
Whereas Luton are a team. Like, they are very united.
They are, but they just lack quality.
Yeah.
The effort's there, but the quality's not, basically. They're a championship side. They're a top championship side. Yeah. They didn't do enough in the transfer window.
Yeah.
They made a couple of shrewd signings. Townsend was quite a good signing. Barkley was very good business. But it wasn't enough, unfortunately.
Did they sign Kaminsky as well in the summer? I think they did.
You love Kaminsky, don't you?
Yeah, I love Kaminsky. I think he's from Blackburn. I think he got signed for Blackburn.
But no, I think Forest are right in there, aren't they? And they're only 3 points above the danger zone.
Yeah.
They're right in there. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, it was good. Good goal from Chris Wood. Good assist as well.
That's what I mean. We got Chris Wood up front. He's been in the Premier League for
Morgan Gibbs-White as well.
However many Gibbs-White, Alanga,
Hudson-Odoi.
Yeah, they've got some good players, but it's just not working for him, is it?
No. Would you put that on the manager, or would you put it on just?
Well, I mean, my experience of Nuno wasn't very good, so.
Yeah, but he was good at Wolves, and I feel like even
like
Forest are a bit
some
lower than
managers
Wolves
just find clubs that suit them, and I felt like Wolves and Nuno was a match made in heaven.
Wolves and Gary O'Neill, match made in heaven.
Wolves and Gary O'Neill, yeah. Sorry, it's Ferguson and Man United. Yeah. Harry Redknapp and Spurs.
Do you think Ange and Spurs?
Poch and Spurs. Well, it's a bit too early, isn't it?
Mourinho and Spurs.
If you read the report, he's going to Liverpool in the summer. Apparently.
Wait, what?
Apparently, Liverpool want him, but
Liverpool want everyone.
Yeah.
Liverpool getting.
He's only getting licked because he's a Liverpool fan.
Yeah. Liverpool getting our sporting director. So
as good as Ange is, he's not done enough to be Liverpool manager, in my opinion.
yeah,
Not yet.
not yet. No.
But then arguably neither is Alonso. So
True.
but if he wins the Bundesliga,
Yeah, then
takes it away from Bayern for winning like for 8 years in a row, I feel like that kind of qualifies him. But obviously,
I think it's a bit more than 8 years in a row.
I think it's because Dortmund won it, didn't they, under Klopp? Not
That was
10
like
years ago.
2012, wasn't it?
No, I think it was 2013.
2013. I mean, I think it last season was the 10th time they won it in a row. Yeah.
So if he, because obviously they won again 3-2, and also Harry Kane got injured. That's another topic.
Yeah, but apparently he's staying with the England squad, so I think he'll be fine.
Yeah, but the problem with Kane is he plays through injury, makes it worse. He's one of them players who won't just sit out for injury. He'll play through it and then make it 10 times worse, and then have to miss even more games. He did that so many times at Spurs, where he got injured, played through it, and then.
I mean, Watkins came off in the European game, and then he just played against West Ham.
Solanke up front for the Euros.
No, but he played against West Ham.
Well, yeah, should we talk about that game then? 1-1.
Yeah, it's a couple VAR.
I was very, very gutted that VAR
ruled out the
97th minute Souček winner. I was buzzing when that went in.
I mean, he did play it with his hand into the goal.
Is it one of them? Is it?
He was on the floor and he just hit it in with it. Just hit the mic. Hit it in with his hand.
Didn't they have 2 disallowed goals?
Both for handball, and both were handball. So
West Ham seems to be finding some form, don't they?
West Ham seem to like handling the ball.
I mean,
any Bournemouth fans would know what I'm talking about.
Doesn't feel like that long ago where all the West Ham fans were really against Moyes, and now they've thrashed Freiburg in the.
Yeah, but it's Freiburg. Let's be honest.
Is it Europa League? They're in the Europa League, right? They've thrashed Freiburg in the Europa League. They've dominated, from what I heard, they dominated Villa for large parts of the game.
Yeah,
they're in 7th, so they're looking like they're going to get Europe again. I mean, what are these West Ham fans moaning about?
The football that's being played. They have the second least. Oh, I saw a stat. It was second least something attacking wise in the league.
But come on, they're 7th in the league. They're in the European quarter-final. Come on.
Yeah, I suppose, but like
bit of perspective, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I'd be happy with that.
Would you? Yeah.
But
I don't know. I just feel like West Ham, if they get rid of Moyes, I feel like they'll get worse.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Because who are they arguably going to get that's better than Moyes? That's realistic, that would go to West Ham?
I mean, you say that realistic that would go to West Ham, but I feel like a lot, other than like the top level managers, I feel like a lot of managers.
Mourinho?
No. I feel like a lot of managers in like foreign leagues would be happy to take the West Ham job. I mean, they're in Europe. They're in the Premier League.
Iriola 2.0.
Like no, but even better than, because we're not in Europe. We were in a relegation fight last season, so like West Ham are nowhere near that.
Yeah, I feel like it would have to be like a masterclass in managerial recruitment to get a improvement on Moyes.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, the football could improve, but
I feel like he's been there quite a while. Like he probably won't even be there that much longer anyway. Like given his choice.
Yeah, I don't know. I think there's talks about
because he's had 2 spells now, hasn't he?
I think there's talks about him extending his contract at the end of the season because I think it runs out next.
Well, to me, that would be deserved because you're not saying it's deserved. I mean, they finished 7th in the league, and if who knows what they'll do in the Europa League, they won't win it. I don't think because Liverpool are in it, and
so
AC Milan and
Leverkusen.
There's at least 3 teams that are better than them, but
well, I think there's more than 3 teams that are better than them. I think.
Well, yeah, okay, at least 3 that you'd fancy them to go out to. But on to another relegation candidate, Brentford.
Yeah.
And it's obviously they lost to Burnley, and it just struck me how little Tony's return has affected their results.
It was like the first
game or 2. And
so
now,
didn't they play you quite early on, and he scored, but they still lost?
Yeah, that was at home, wasn't it? Yeah. 2 or 3-1.
Yeah, I think
you had Mopai doing the dart celebration, winding up. Madison.
Wasn't it 3-2? Or was that a different? Was that a different game?
Yeah, it might have been. Yeah,
no, I think they lost 3-2 against Forest.
I think it was 3-1.
Or beat Forest. Anyway, who knows?
Well, Tony's now. I've seen him. He's in an interview saying, you know, for me would be like, Brentford selling me and Real Madrid coming in for me. I'm like,
Real Madrid.
Real Madrid. I mean, they have Joselu up front, but they're not going to go for Tony. He's like about the same level as him.
I think he might want a move away, lads. What do you reckon?
Yeah, maybe. If I was a Brentford fan, I'd want him to go. I'd want him to.
Yeah,
why is he captain?
Yeah.
Why is he captain? I don't understand.
To me, it's kind of. I'm not surprised they're doing this bad when your manager reps a guy who's not captain material at all. And
they have Ben Mee, and he's not. Ben Mee isn't been made captain.
But Frank seems to think that he has to. Obviously Tony's arguably their best player, but probably is.
Yeah.
But he seems to he caps for him so much. He doesn't say anything bad about him, and it's not worked because his form's not good.
Yeah, four goals this season.
I feel like he's played himself out of a top move this summer. You think that's fair? I think he's played himself out of one.
Yeah.
He'd have been better off being banned for the whole season and then just getting a move in the summer. I feel like.
Yeah, I don't think he'll go to anywhere I don't think he'll go to a top 6 team in the Premier League. He won't go to any big team. I think
if he was to get a move, it'd be to West Ham or
yeah, I was going to say exactly that.
Maybe Newcastle to replace Isaac.
Didn't he? He used to play for Newcastle, didn't he? Don't know if he'll go back there.
Reunion. But did you see the early red card, Reguilon?
Yeah, it was a red card.
Yeah, kind of just shoved him over, didn't he?
Yeah, did you see Fofana's miss?
I did, but he did make up for it.
Yeah.
Getting the second goal.
It's a good goal, to be fair.
To secure Burnley's second home win of the season. I mean, we're in March, lads.
And, they were so bad when we played them, so I don't know how bad Brentford must have been to
Well, they were down to 10
men
men for
I mean, that's
80
true.
minutes.
Did you see the equaliser that was disallowed?
I feel like I did, yeah.
The one where Tony just kind of jumped into the goalkeeper. Because I thought when I first watched it, before I saw a replay, I thought Tony'd got his head onto the ball. And I thought, a bit harsh to disallow that because he does get the ball first. And then I watch it and he just doesn't get the ball at all and just takes out the goalkeeper. I was like, okay, fair enough.
Yeah, goalkeepers are protected, aren't they? You can't even
I don't think
goalkeeper.
I don't think you can even use the excuse that goalkeepers are protected for that disallowing that goal. It was just an obvious foul.
Yeah.
Even if goalkeepers weren't protected, I still think that would have been disallowed. It was no. But everyone seems to think Tony's amazing and he should be in the England team above Solanke. But
Yeah, I'm with you there. Tony should definitely not be over Solanke. But
because to be honest, I thought Southgate would only take 2 strikers to the friendlies.
I think 2's risky, isn't it?
Yeah, that's true. So I thought it'll take 2. He won't take Ivan Toney or Solanke. He'll just take Watkins and Kane, and that'll be that.
If Kane's not 100%,
yeah,
then you're relying on one fully fit striker.
Yeah, but then if you take Rashford can play there.
I feel like we could play with a false 9 as well.
Yeah,
like Foden in the false 9 or Bellingham in the false 9. I think that would work.
Yeah. But I mean, why would we do that when we have Kane? So.
But I mean, a word on Brentford. I mean, they're being dragged into the relegation battle, aren't they?
I think they're more likely to get relegated than Forest.
They're 14th, lost in 18 games in the league.
Yeah,
I mean that's relegation form, isn't it?
Yeah.
Trying to remember when we have them next. It might be the second last game of the season. Oh, that's gonna be. They'll probably find form by then and beat us 3-0 or something.
Burnley seems to be finding form at the wrong time. I mean, they're still 8 points. From safety.
Way too late for
I think
Burnley.
they're gone, aren't they?
Yeah, they're gone.
I mean, it could happen, but I don't think.
I mean, 8 points
I
to
guess,
claw back. They've got to win. 3 games, say.
Yeah, but I mean, you look at Forest and Brentford, and they're
and then Forest and Brentford not to win a game.
They could, but that could happen though. Especially Brentford, I feel like.
Yeah, I mean Brentford. Yeah, they don't seem to be able to.
Because at least
win
Forest
games.
have their games at home where they actually.
Yeah,
put
but
in...
the thing with Forest is they've had no manager bounce, have they? Really at all? They had 1 or 2 games, and then they've kind of reverted
not really even
to,
that.
Yeah, maybe half a game.
I mean, yeah, half a game. I mean, I think their first game with Nuno was against us, and we beat them 3-2.
Yeah,
it was pretty much half a game that they did well. I mean, they were down to 10 men, which was a bit harsh, but
But it's exciting though because you've got Luton, you've got Sheffield United, Forest, Brentford. Who's the other one I'm thinking
Burnley.
of? Burnley.
Sheffield United are gone.
So you got
and Burnley pretty.
You got
certain they're gone.
4 or 5 teams that could feasibly get relegated.
You could even put Everton in there as well.
I think you could put Everton in there. They're not winning games at the moment either.
Yeah.
Everton would probably be the least likely to go down of the candidates that could go down. But
yeah, I agree.
I mean, if Brentford go down, I mean, no one saw that coming at the start of the season. I certainly didn't.
I did.
You did?
I thought they'd struggle without Tony. I mean, I think a lot of people thought they'd struggle without Tony.
Well, I feel like they were better without Tony. Is that just...
Yeah.
I feel like they were better without him.
Yeah, but at the beginning of the season, you thought they'd be worse without him.
I feel like Wissa was really stepping up.
I mean, I would have a look at my beginning, start of the season predictions, but I don't really want to because I did put Wolves to get relegated. So.
I think we know why. We were a bit burnt by Gary O'Neill.
No, because I think that was before he even joined them. It was just before.
What, even with their team? Neto, Chan.
Yeah, but they'd sold half their best players.
Sarabia.
They'd sold a lot of their best players, and there were also
still
talks of
too good to go down.
Sarabia and people like that leaving. But I just thought, Lopetegui didn't want to be there. He was like, I don't want to be involved. Yeah. So
that was to do with transfers, wasn't it? He wasn't happy with.
So I thought there was something going on there that he just didn't want to be a part of.
Yeah, it's going to be very. I feel like it's going to go down to the last games again. That day where everyone plays at 3 p.m. and one goal here or there can.
I think it's 2 p.m. isn't it?
Is it 2 p.m?
Because of the 3 p.m. blackout, all the games will be on Sky Sports, I think.
Yeah.
So they can't put them at 3.
But it's exciting though.
Yeah.
You can't really. I mean, yeah, you'd think to yourself that Sheffield United and Burnley are down, but Burnley are starting to pick up points. It's a bit late, but. Or is it a bit late? I mean, you still got. I don't think 10 games left.
I don't think it's too late. I think it is a bit much to ask of the players to turn it around now.
I mean, strange things have happened. I mean, what are some of the big? I mean, I remember Sam Allardyce teams staying up on the final day.
Leicester, the season before they won, I think that was pretty big.
Yeah,
big turnaround.
I mean, there's been stories of teams, who think they're dead and buried and they somehow survive. But we'll see. It looks unlikely at the moment, but...
Was Aston Villa one of those back in 2020?
Yeah, I feel like Villa.
I feel like that was one of them.
Yeah.
At our expense, I must say.
Oh, is that when you went down?
Yeah.
Because of VAR?
The goal line technology, actually.
Goal line technology. Can't blame
not being turned on.
Can't blame one decision for getting relegated.
I mean, you can.
You can't.
I mean, you can.
You can't.
Why can't you?
Because you should.
Why were you in that position?
Take it in your own. Yeah, you shouldn't be in that position.
Yeah, we shouldn't have been in that position. But if goal line technology was turned on, we wouldn't have been. We would have stayed up. That's the point. You say we didn't get.
No, you should have just won one more game.
Well, Aston Villa shouldn't have got the point that they did.
Here we go again.
That's the thing.
Here we go.
I don't know why we managed to get on this topic.
Would you not understand our point? You should make it so that situation.
We should make it in that situation not possible.
That's what you should do.
But Aston Villa were in that position anyway.
If you're a manager,
and you could say the same thing about them.
If you're a manager, that can't be your attitude.
If it goes the other way around, you'd say Aston Villa didn't get enough points to stay up, and that's fair. I mean, Aston Villa didn't get enough points to stay up, but they did because of a mistake. I mean, we could talk about this.
Shouldn't be in that situation though, should you?
But what I wanted to know is, where did you guys put Man United? If you had predictions at the beginning of the season, where did you put Man United?
Probably where they are, pretty much 5th, 6th.
I think I put us 5th.
Yeah.
I think I put you 4th.
Oh.
Because I think I put Spurs 5th.
No one had Villa where they are. I don't think.
I had Villa 8th.
I can't remember what my top 4 was.
Well, the top 3 picked itself.
In there.
Just depends on what order you went with. And then 4th, yeah.
I think I went City, Liverpool, Arsenal.
I think I had Spurs in at 4, and then United 5th.
We could do a whole podcast on this later down the line. Have a look at our predictions, because I'd love to know where you guys put Bournemouth.
Probably relegation.
Yeah, probably. It wouldn't surprise me.
Nah. I think I pretty much said Sheffield United, Luton,
I think
Burnley to go down. I think that's what I did. Because you know what, when teams come up and they always go crazy in the transfer market. They always buy I remember years gone by where teams just went crazy. I remember QPR one year.
Yeah.
Bought Rio Ferdinand and Sean Wright Phillips, and teams just don't seem to do that anymore, do they? It might be because of these rules.
Yeah. I mean, you say teams don't do that anymore, but I mean,
Forest did that.
Forest did it last season.
They're like the last team that I remember that
Burnley
did
have spent over 100 million in the summer.
Yeah, and I don't know
on what. Who knows? But
no. But I did read that Forest will find out the outcome of their case today. So
really,
yeah,
that
apparently.
soon. But then it will go to an appeal, won't it? And then it will take.
So they could be getting docked.
What about Everton? Because
upwards of 10.
More.
Well, I'd imagine if Forest are getting told soon, I'd imagine Everton will be soon as well. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, if Forest get docked 10 points, I mean, they're down, aren't they?
You say today, but you mean technically yesterday on the day this goes out.
Hmm?
You mean they'll find out yesterday because it's going out tomorrow, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. Getting for the technical Monday.
So, if you're listening to this, you know already. We have no idea.
If you're listening to this tomorrow and they've been deducted points,
good. I want Forest to get relegated. There are so many teams I want to get relegated that I just like.
Who don't you want to get relegated apart from Bournemouth?
Luton.
Oh yeah.
Of the teams that are down there, Luton.
I don't want to see them go.
Pretty much Luton is the only one.
Yeah, I don't. There's stadium, man. It's not a Premier League stadium.
You can't just say, this team doesn't deserve to be in the Premier League because of their stadium. They deserve to be in the Premier League because they got into the Premier League, and if they stay up,
and their
they
manager
deserve
just
to stay
kind
up.
of feels like he just like.
Oh, he's a great manager.
Won a raffle and he's managing the Premier League.
That's Will Still. That's not. That's not him.
No, it's like every time he does an interview, he's just like always like happy. It's like you don't know you've like only won like how many games this season.
Oh, sorry. No one's allowed to be happy in Lewis's world.
No, like he just seems to be happy to be there. Like he doesn't. I don't know.
He didn't seem very happy after losing 4-3 against us.
I didn't after I watched that one, but yeah.
I mean, would you not be happy to be in the Premier League? Like,
yeah, but you don't just take your participation trophy and peace out. Like, you know.
Well, they're not. They're trying to stay up. And out of all the three promoted
they're
teams,
not doing very well, are they?
They're doing the best out of the three promoted teams. I mean, they're only 3 points off safety.
There's not much in it, though, is there?
I mean, there is. There's 3 points off safety, and then I think aren't Burnley like 5 points behind them? Something like that. So, like...
We'll see.
I want Luton to stay up. And obviously, I want Bournemouth to stay up. I want Spurs to get relegated.
We've never been relegated from the Premier League, mate.
Huh?
We've never been relegated from the Premier League.
Oh, right, okay. Neither have Luton. Or Brentford, to be fair.
I think that's it on the weekend's games.
Yeah.
Got anything else to say?
No.
Bit of a weird one where you've got kind of... I feel like they shouldn't do that. They shouldn't really have weekends where there's a few Premier League games and a few FA Cup games.
Isn't that because of the winter break, though?
Hmm?
Isn't that because of the winter break? We had like a couple...
Yeah, well, I think they were all games that had to be replayed, weren't they?
No.
I think we had a game in hand, because that was our game in hand over Villa.
Yeah, but your game in hand was because of the Carabao Cup final against... because Chelsea played, and that your game in hand is against Chelsea.
Oh, yeah.
It's just that the games that were arranged for this weekend, if both teams weren't in the FA Cup,
yeah,
they'd play it.
I'm just not sure I like it though. I think if it's FA Cup, just have FA Cup games. I don't know what you think about that. You don't mind it, or because you said you didn't even watch any Premier League games.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's going to be a lot of people. They're not going to watch.
But I feel like because of the winter break, you need to play. Because when else would you play the Premier League games?
Just play them midweek. Give me a midweek game.
But then you've got teams in Europe.
Well, Fulham aren't in Europe. We're not in Europe.
Yeah, but like some teams are still in Europe.
Oh,
and then if they're still in Europe and in the FA Cup, and of course they've got Premier League games, then
but like this week there wouldn't be any European games. Next
True.
European games aren't until like second week of April.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You could put the FA Cup games in the midweek and then have the Premier League weekend.
No, FA Cup games on Saturday and Sunday. It's traditional. Especially quarterfinals. And how do you feel about what are your thoughts on having semi-finals at Wembley? Do you agree with it? Do you think they should be at the club stadium? I think the semi-finals should be at the stadiums and just the final should be at Wembley. I think it cheapens Wembley having. Yeah, I agree.
Wembley feels like something you should,
that should be the prize, shouldn't it?
Yeah.
But the thing is, if like, for example, Coventry, they're not going to get to the final, really, are they? But they get a chance to go to Wembley. It's for teams that aren't. It's for like teams that aren't like the top 6 teams in the Premier League. get them the chance to go to Wembley. Because I say that, but Coventry went to Wembley in the
I guess
playoff final last season anyway.
Isn't it just more incentive to get to the final then for those teams? Like you get the final and Wembley.
Yeah, but like they're not realistically they're not going to get there, are they?
You never know.
When was the last time a championship team got to the final? Or
3 years ago, right? Like recently.
3 years ago.
Really?
I'm sure it was.
Well, I had a stat that it's only it's Coventry's. It's the second time they've reached the semi-finals in their history. In the FA
I'm trying to think who got to the final and who's in the championship.
There was a team recently.
Because last season it was
Wigan.
It's not Bournemouth.
Wigan won it, but that was the season they got relegated to the championship, and that was ages ago.
No, but I'm sure like 3 years ago there was a championship team in the final. I'm sure like 3 or 4 years.
Leicester won it 3 years ago against Chelsea.
Yeah, but they weren't in the championship then.
Yeah, I know. And the time before, the last time I can't remember a time there was a championship team in the.
There's been teams that have Leicester that have won it, but they've always been in the Premier League, like Wigan and Portsmouth. They were in the Premier League when they won it.
Yeah.
I'm
trying to think because Watford. They
How do you feel about the FA Cup? Do you think it's going to stand? Think it'll still be here in 10 years?
Yeah. Yeah. It's the oldest cup competition, football competition in the world.
I think the Carabao Cup might not be.
I don't know.
But I think the FA Cup's secure.
I'd never heard of Carabao outside of the context, like the company Carabao outside of the context of the Carabao Cup ever.
I've read reports that they're going to obviously
change the name, give the naming rights to someone else.
They're going to change the format.
What did the Carabao Cup used to be called before it was the Carabao Cup?
Carling Cup.
That's the one.
Because I know that because we won it in 2008. Jonathan Woodgate, winner, extra time against Chelsea.
Jonathan Woodgate.
Yeah.
Wasn't he a centre-back?
Real Madrid legend. Yeah.
Yeah. He was our interim manager when we were in the Championship a couple of seasons ago.
Oh, God.
He was actually did better than, not as good as Scott Parker.
Better than Gary O'Neill.
No. I never did those words leave my mouth.
Right, so everyone happy? Nothing more to say?
Yeah, this has been a bit of a waffly end of the podcast, hasn't it?
Yeah. We'll get on to the second topic of the day. The new UCL format.
Yeah, that will be a different podcast.
So tune in for that.
Yeah. So thank you guys for listening to this podcast, this episode. Some good games this weekend and
some not so good games.
Well, if you're a Tottenham fan, yeah. But yeah, thank you for listening, and we'll catch you guys in another episode.